I am the rocket man they talk about. I jump from star to star, I'll walk it out.
Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Shibby2142, and today we're playing some more SMITE beta by Hi-Rez Studios, and we're playing as another lock god, which I had to unlock by gems, or you can do it by favor. His name is AGNI. He's from the Hindu background, and his role is a ranged mage. In today's video, we'll talk about his skills, what I think, we'll see what you guys think, and we'll just kind of go from there. It makes sense to start off talking about AGNI's passive and skills, then we can go into basic strategy. Starting off, AGNI's passive, which all god characters have their own unique passive, this is called Combustion. After hitting with 4 basic attacks, AGNI will gain a buff. On the next cast of Flame Wave, or Rain Fire, so we're talking about his second or ultimate, all enemies hit by those abilities will be additionally set ablaze, taking 5 damage every half second for 3 seconds. Pretty cool. You can tell Combustion is ready by how many flaming limbs that AGNI has, so on his feet and hands, or you can look at the little icon above the health bar that has the unique Combustion logo. Now let's kick it off with AGNI's one ability. This one is pretty awesome. It's called Noxious Fumes, which basically his entire being is based around, in my opinion. Cooldown of 12 seconds, and then the mana costs more as you level up. AGNI summons a cloud of noxious fumes at the ground targeted by his choice, doing 10 to 50, depending on how much you level, magic damage every second for 10 seconds. So it's pretty nice for just area denial and scaring people, also pretty good in the lane. And we're not done yet. The best part, in my opinion, about Noxious Fumes is that any of AGNI's abilities will detonate this gas, and what it does is it stuns all enemies in the radius for 2 seconds flat. That is nuts. Having a ranged AoE stun that has a pretty low cooldown and really doesn't cost too much mana, and it does damage, that is so good. Next up, his 2 ability is called Flame Wave. You guys have seen me use all these abilities so far. AGNI summons a wave of fire in front of him that scorches all enemies in its path for 80 to 240 damage, magical damage, and it will ignite Noxious Fumes. So it's just pretty much straight damage. Next up, AGNI's 3 ability is called Path of Flames, cooldown of 15, starting at 70 to 90 mana. AGNI blazes a path forward in a quick dash, leaving flames trailing behind him that persist for 4 seconds. So when I dash away, there will be flames behind my character in a straight line for 4 seconds using this ability. Any enemies passing through the flames will catch fire and burn for some magical damage. It's not quite that much, every half second for 2 seconds. This also ignites my one ability, once again that being Noxious Fumes, which can stun. So we got some interesting combos coming up soon. Lastly, AGNI's ultimate, which is just so beast, is called Rain Fire. Cooldown of 20, mana cost 0. You guys might be thinking, Shibs, what is going on here? Every 20 seconds, AGNI gains a flaming halo. Can soar up to 3, so the little flaming halo balls going around the 2 heads. AGNI can expend a halo to summon a giant meteor at the ground of the target where he picks, doing 175 up to 335 damage, magical damage, and he's able to summon 1 every 0.8 seconds, so basically 1 meteor every second. This also ignites his one ability, and the cooldown is dependent on how many halos you have. Yeah, this is just crazy. A lot of people argue that AGNI is overpowered. Am I here to tell you yes or no? I'm not really sure yet because I've only played about 3 games with him. This is footage from 2 of them. So AGNI is just really solid overall, and maybe his abilities are a little too much at some times, but you could probably argue that with a lot of characters, that if you're just really, really good with, let's say, an Artemis or whatever you pick, a Bakasura, everyone would be crying like, oh my gosh, OP, OP, OP. Maybe that character or that person is just amazing. They have all the items like perfected in their brain, and their teamwork is awesome. That could be also the case, such as partnering with Italics here, who is playing as Odin. He locks them in with his ulti, and then I can just drop my meteors on them. They can't get out, and it's just over. Basic strategy with AGNI seems to be that he is a mid player. Now, I'm not good enough with him yet to actually play mid and be a beast, so that will probably be in the future. He's really strong in the mid and can push and gank. He can pretty much do it all. It's really quite impressive. So it seems like what people do is they'll dash in with the 3 ability, drop their 1 ability, Noxious Fumes, at the very end tip of that dash. It'll then ignite, stun whoever's in it, and then you can hit them with the wave or hit them with the ult, and usually they will pretty much die all the time. Unfortunately, not getting that triple kill there, which does not really help me out. AGNI, it really depends on how good your team is. I doubt that an AGNI could totally carry a team, just because if he does get ganked or maybe stun locked by an Anubis or an Arachne, you're really not going to get out. I mean, your dash is good, but it'll only get you so far. You're pretty squishy. As for some cons to AGNI, obviously, once again, he is pretty squishy. In early game, he doesn't seem to be the best, but once you hit level 5, his ultimate not costing any mana, that is pretty great. So once you start getting some mana regen and possibly just some more true damage straight up, it really starts rolling with you. So he just becomes an absolute beast late game. As for recommended items or purchased abilities, I always like Meditation and Purification Beads just because you can get stun locked by, let's say, an Anubis or an Arachne, and that just kind of sucks. And also Meditation is nice just to get mana back, especially like early-ish mid-game. That's nice. As for actual items, I'd probably say just go with the recommended, or the Doom Orb I've seen is also popular, which would be in the Magical Power option. And there we go, guys, some AGNI gameplay on SMITE. It's still in beta. I am just loving it. That's pretty much it. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be cool. More SMITE and other games coming soon. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.